What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com. Tonight I'm going to be talking about my favorite flick of the year thus far, Guy Ritchie's brand new film, The Gentleman, starring Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Hugh Grant, and Colin Farrell. So I want to start off by saying I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan. He was one of my favorite directors, when I really got into reviewing movies, and he still is one of my favorite directors when he sticks to what he knows, being these English crime heist films, like Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and now The Gentleman. He's returning to his roots, and thank God for that. So you have Matthew McConaughey's character. He's American in London. He's built this huge marijuana empire, got a bunch of farms. He makes a ton of money, but he basically wants to sell the business, get out of it, basically retire. He's been working the business for a long time, since he was a younger kid. Has made a lot of money. A lot of people respect him. He's a big deal in London, especially in the marijuana industry. With his character, he's madly in love with his wife, and he's like, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore. It's time to retire. So that's the setup of the film, which sets up a lot of bonkers side stories and characters that come along the way in this film. And Charlie Hunnam plays Matthew McConaughey's wingman named Raymond. He's there to take care of business and make sure shit gets done. He's kind of the muscle in this movie, a quiet and cool and collect muscle that a guy you definitely don't want to mess with. He's very intimidating in certain aspects of the film, but man, I really loved his performance. I haven't seen Charlie Hunnam act this good in a long time, and I'm not saying he's a bad actor, just a lot of the movie choices he makes are not the best at times. King Arthur being one of them just didn't work for me overall. But Charlie Hunnam's character is really fantastic in this movie. And we have the setup of the character Fletcher, played by Hugh Grant. Oh, the beautiful boy.
Are you?
He has a completely different accent in this movie, and he's pretty much unrecognizable. You can't really tell. He has these like tinted glasses and goatees, older now, and just didn't recognize him, but he was like one of the best performances in the film. He basically finds out about this marijuana empire, what they're doing with this company, a lot of shady shit basically with Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam's characters. Obviously they're selling weed in London, they're making a ton of money, and Fletcher has these pictures and info about the company, and it all leads to like bribery and blackmail and a lot of really great aspects. Fletcher's character wants a ton of money, or he's going to release the information about these illegal operations, this huge empire that's ran by Matthew McConaughey and farms throughout London. So they better pay up. They have, a certain amount of time to pay the money, or he's going to release the information. And Fletcher also writes a script about the empire, the business, and he's going to sell it to a studio, which is really hilarious because this movie is Miramax Films, and I didn't even know they're still around. Miramax basically put out like all the great movies back in the 90s. They're the big studio back then, and it was funny. They're kind of poking fun at the film industry in this movie. You can kind of see being a Miramax film, and then Fletcher's character, wanting to sell the script to Miramax. So I like what Guy Ritchie did with that aspect of the film. It's really funny. Other characters in the film are introduced to Colin Farrell. He plays Coach, and he has a really thick accent. He was there for the comedic relief. I really wish he had a bigger part in the film, but when he shows up in like the second act of the film, they introduce him and his bunch of students, I guess you can call them, a bunch of kids that carry around like GoPros, and they are like really badass fighters, and they show up at Matthew McConaughey's farm, and things don't turn out so well, but they're a bunch of kids, a bunch of young lads, as he says in the film, kids fighting and kicking some ass. And there's this really great scene, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. They're in like this restaurant or kind of deli place, and a bunch of like punk ass kids in London come up to Colin Farrell, and they pull out a knife on him. He just like beats the shit out of him. And then we have Dry Eye, played by Henry Golding. He's another character that's trying to buy Matthew McConaughey's weed business. Gives them this amount of money, and Matthew McConaughey's like, nope, definitely not enough zeros in there for me to sell it to you. He doesn't really like him, so there's a lot of conflict with that character. He's just a really bad guy and a person you can't trust. So Matthew McConaughey's character is trying to sell his business for like 400 million pounds, a lot of money, and you have like Dry Eye's character that's trying to buy it for less money and steal it out from under him, and this other character, and it's kind of back and forth and twists and turns throughout the film. And we know in Guy Ritchie films, the violence is always over the top, and this is a very violent film. There's a lot of great kill scenes and like shooting. Charlie Hunnam's character has this like machine gun under his like coat. Really great scene with these kids in the middle part of the movie. And it's gonna be gritty and raw and in your face. A lot of profanity, a lot of really quick dialogue, a lot of great one-liners, a lot of great comedy, a lot of great aspects that we all know that Guy Ritchie can pull off. And Guy Ritchie was like one of the pioneers of making these types of films, the crime genre, like in your face, raw, intense, quick, you know, funny at the same time, really pulling out great performances from actors. It really set the bar for making these types of films, and him returning to this genre, sitting down and enjoying this film, and it just like flew by, and I fell in love with the stories and all the twists and turns that come along the way, and you learn these characters are people you can't trust, and it's all about money at the end of the day, and this is a story that really captures all those elements, even with like technology, and then also marijuana being a huge thing now, of it being legalized and hurting a lot of the illegal operations of, you know, growing and selling. It's a movie that keeps you guessing. You're not really sure what's going to happen at the end, and how this business is going to turn out. Is Matthew McConaughey going to be able to sell it, and what's going to happen to all the characters? So overall, I'm going to give Guy Ritchie's brand new film, The Gentleman, a 4 out of 5 Guy Ritchie hair pieces. So if you guys did check out the brand new Guy Ritchie film, The Gentleman, what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out. My lad's up here. Probably go out for a pint, eh? Hey, boys. Until the next movie review. Cheers!